In today's video, the show is over, and we talk about what you should do.
All by myself.
What's going on, guys? This is Paul Ravella from ProPhysique.com. It's Monday morning and I am excited about the week ahead. I am excited about the life ahead, but today is an awesome day so far. I've just been having a great morning with work. I took the complete day off Sunday, literally did not even look at an email on my phone or anything. It was awesome, and I got to really connect with my friends, went to the beach with my man Colin. Happy birthday, Colin. For those that are not following Colin's YouTube channel, you should be doing so. Colin DeWay is a fantastic coach, power lifter, and someday I'm gonna get that man on a bodybuilding or a physique stage. You heard it from me, Colin. But anyway, we went to the beach in St. Petersburg called Madeira Beach and just had a good time, went out to lunch. My son and Colin's son played, and you know, Steven came and got to hang out with Che and Erica and, you know, Colin's wife, and it was just a great day spent. And then we came home and did more family stuff, and I went to bed early, but I got up today and I just started crushing it. And I'm gonna start putting a timestamp in these videos so that you guys know when the topic starts. So the topic for today is obviously what to do once your show's over. But the way I like to do these videos is just do a little bit of like a recap of what's been going on, because at the end of the day, these videos are my videos. They're about my life, my stories. And so I realize that as my subscribers grow, there's people that are like tuning into these videos expecting to hear just the topic. And if you leave a negative comment or have something bad to say, bye-bye, I don't want you here. This isn't about you. This is about me and my philosophies and theories. And so, yeah, I like to share a little about what's going on in my life, but I will make it easier for you. The first comment in the section is going to be me. I'm going to pin it. It's going to have a timestamp. So you can just go down and click and say, hey, I don't want to hear Paul's ramblings about his life, business, family, friends, whatever I got going on. I want to go right to the topic at hand. And so that's for you guys, all right? So anyway, yeah, awesome weekend, awesome Sunday, but this week ahead is going to be the bomb. Got some really exciting stuff going on. Today, I've just been catching up. I had some awesome competitors compete this week from coast to coast. From muscle contests out west to Team Universe or Universe, NPC Universe, whatever it's called now, out east, and everything in between. So, got a couple emails this weekend, and I'm going through them, and I find a common thread, and that is, hey, what should my philosophy fee be for post-contest? What should I be doing now that my show is over? And so I want to get into that a little bit. And I thought it would be a good topic for today because it is the time of year where people are starting to end their competitive seasons and they're going into their last show and they're kind of doing their next thing. And so I want to talk about what you should do when your show is over. Now, I can't address you specifically for a few reasons because I don't know what your goals are. So I'm going to talk about a few different approaches that I firmly believe in. The first goal has to be, when your show is over, setting that next goal, okay? Let me give you a little experience from my perspective. My first show, the first show I ever did in 2008, I did a very good job of being on plan for, I want to say it was almost, 20 weeks, 18 or 20 weeks, I think, for prep. The problem was, that was my first ever show, and I had no idea if I was ever going to compete again. It wasn't like, oh, this is my life, this is my career. It was literally like, I want to do a show because I just want to see what it's all about. And as many of you can attest, if you've ever done a show, you get bit by that bug a little bit. It's time to fall in love and be infatuated with the process and the sport. And that's absolutely what happened to me, but it didn't happen right away. You see, I did my show, I got my placing. For the next few months, I was traveling. I was going out to LA to visit a buddy. I was having fun, being social. I was in the gym sporadically, but I didn't really have a next goal. I did that bodybuilding show, and my next goal was just stay in shape. And it took me a few months to figure out that next goal. So what happened is, I kind of got out of my routine with nutrition, with cardio, with training. And yeah, I put on body fat at a rate faster than I wanted to. I kind of lost that look that I had. I kind of lost that fire I had in the gym. And it took me a little bit to get it back. And maybe for my mental sake, I needed that. But it's something I definitely have changed. Now, when I complete a show, I'm setting that next goal for myself. Even if that next goal is Let's just not put on a bunch of body fat in a short period of time and lose all the progress we made. Again, I treat this more as a lifestyle now, which I've talked about, and less about a destination. So I think the first thing for everybody, doesn't matter what your next goal is just have a next goal, okay? That's gonna help you. What I'd also like to discuss now is the specifics. You just did a show. Show's over. Now what? Do you have a show in 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks? Do you have something planned? Did you just qualify for nationals and now you're looking at the national show schedule? Did you just almost win your pro card at a natural bodybuilding show and you want to win your natural pro card? Did you just get second and now you want first at your next show? Awesome. This is where we really need to pay attention. This is where we need to be focused on being very diligent with our post-contest rebound, because the post-contest period is a fantastic opportunity if you take advantage of it. Yes, I still want you to go out after the show and have a meal. I still want you to have a breakfast. I still want you to, have a day or two where you kind of just eat without being so, hard on yourself psychologically, a little bit of freedom. But if your next goal is within reach, it's attainable, we really want to take full advantage and pay attention to what happened during peak week, what happened to the weeks leading up, what were some of the indicators that, perhaps this is where we can optimize your diet and take advantage of it. One thing I tend to notice during peak week is the reduction in training intensity, the increase in calories, the tapering of the cardio. Most people drop weight, get leaner, feel better during peak week. And so sometimes we can kind of repeat that protocol. So pay attention to the data. If you're working with someone or you're doing it yourself, pay attention to the periods of time that you looked and felt your best, because this is something that I definitely didn't do, because I always, when I competed, would do one show, and I would always get better that last week. I would always tighten up, the scale would drop, and I would have to up carbs close to the show, and I would never really pay attention to that. Well, a couple of years ago when I dieted, I actually did a show and then repeated my peak week over and over again and just kept getting better and better with more carbs, less cardio, better training. So you gotta really pay attention to that, especially if you're gonna continue doing shows. So that's something that you and your coach are gonna have to discuss and pay attention to, because when you're really lean, there's an opportunity there to actually eat a little bit more and continue to improve. Don't get me wrong, when you're lean, you're still probably gonna feel not great all the time. Meal timing and all these things become very important. But if we can reduce your cardio, increase your calories, and make training more of the focus because you're already in great shape, well then that's what we wanna do. Now let's talk about the other end of the spectrum. You just did a show and you need to spend time, a year, 2 years, 3 years, getting into improvement mode. This is where I want you to go ahead and put on a little bit of weight post-show. I want you to get your passion back, your fire back, your feelings back, your hormones back, right? This is where I want to add some body weight to the scale, depending on, the specifics of your case. But let's say I have a male client that's just did a show, and we're gonna go ahead and bump up his calories a good bit, bring his cardio down, and we're gonna pay attention to his training and really make sure that he's able to start recovering, adding volume, adding weight to the bar, focusing on his weak areas and getting better for the future, okay? So this means if someone competes at 150 pounds, yeah, they can be up 10 pounds of body weight in a week and we're still in a good place. As long as after we put on a little bit of body weight and we're feeling better, we start to then plan the reverse, kind of control things. And those are kind of the two areas. The other thing I want to address is the psychology of being between shows, right? This comes down to what I've discovered, the very, very different aspects of people's personalities. Some people are so type A, they still want to control their calories every day, even in off season, even in reverse. They want to hit and track and plan, and I'm all for that, as long as you're not doing that in lieu of being happy and healthy all the time. You see, we can get into a mode where tracking becomes just as debilitating as a meal plan, right? Where you get into a position where you're not able to function and feel normal and be happy. And sometimes you won't realize it for a long time. My friend Katie Ann has talked about this a little bit, how she was calling herself a flexible dieter, but she was not flexible at all. She would not go out to eat. She would avoid social situations. She would not go somewhere if she didn't know the exact macros of her foods. And she's talked about this at my camp last year, and she's coming back to my camp again this year, and I can't wait for it because she's got an even newer approach this year. She's taking things to the next level. So go follow Katie Ann if you're not. Obviously you are if you're watching my channel. But the biggest thing I want to take away from this is don't let your off season or your improvement season beat you down, because there's going to come a point in contest prep where you need to be super diligent, right? So yes, I firmly believe in planning ahead during the off season, having your meals and your structure kind of set up so that your routine is easy to follow. But on a day like yesterday, where I went out for my man Colin's birthday, I had a couple drinks, right? I had a couple bites to eat. I had some margarita, we'll call it margaritas, or maybe a beer, you know, like these kind of things. And then I don't feel guilty about it, because you know what? All 6 days of the week last week, I was on my point. I was home. I was hitting my numbers. I was planning. I was tracking. So when I go off the rails a little bit for one day, you know, maybe I might have even gone under calories because I fell asleep so early. But overall, it felt good for me mentally. I woke up today refreshed and ready to go and be back on track, and I still enjoyed the day. And, you know, that's something that I kind of wasn't able to do years ago early on, but I have these big picture goals in my head, and that's kind of what you want for you. And that's kind of what I want for my clients, is just to be able to understand that, you know, our bodies are not robots. We need both the psychological and the physical recovery. We need days off from training. We need days off from tracking. That's going to be it for me today, guys. I don't want to get too ranty on you. Hopefully you don't mind the hat forward look today. I figured I would change it up on y'all. I always have my hat backwards. But let's get into this week. Let's make it count. Tomorrow's 4th of July. I know you guys are going to be having some barbecue. We're having some people over the house. We're going to be celebrating, having some fun. Wednesday, I'm flying to Chicago with my dad. Me and my dad are going to a Chicago Cubs versus Tampa Bay Rays game, and you bet your ass I'm going to be wearing my Rays gear. Let everybody in Chicago know that the Rays are coming to town to whoop that ass. So Wednesday is going to be fun. That's my Father's Day present for my dad. Not buying him stuff anymore. I'm buying him experiences, and baseball is something my father and I have always loved and shared. So this week's going to be amazing. I've never been to Wrigley Field. Never. And then I got some stuff going on this weekend with my girl Lauren Conlon. So this week's just going to be a really good week. We're getting a lot done. There's so much going on, progress with my office home gym, that I can't wait till I get in there and start using it and sharing that stuff with you guys. But I want you guys to have an awesome Monday. Any comments, questions, please let me know. If you have specifics, you know, I'll try to get in there and answer them. So, you know, give me as much detail as possible in the comments. But mostly have an awesome week, and let's make it a great one. All right, guys, have a good day.
By myself.